does not mess with the algorithm or mess with the views. Okay, you guys will see it. Yesterday on the live stream that I did, I think we had about 60 people live was the max. Shout out to all 60 people that were there. I get a couple subscribers every hour on Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Cameron for watching on both devices. And we got moderators over there on Rumble now, so nobody has to worry about anybody acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I would advise everybody to go check that out because, like I said, eventually there's going to be less content on YouTube, especially if things start going the way that it seems like they're trending to be going. And like I said, I got a live stream, and that live stream that I do about Rumble is going to be members only. So, you know, if you have a wrench, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to have to be a member. But to comment in that live stream on Blacklight Revelations 1, not on this channel, on Blacklight Revelations 1, is going to be members only because I'm going to hide it after, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's not like that video is going to get any views anyway because YouTube ain't really going to be happy about people promoting other stuff on their platform, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DIY Queen. All right, so there was a podcast, all right, and on this podcast, you have a bunch of individuals attempting to justify domestic violence, all right? I'm pretty sure I know how most people in here feel about domestic violence, but just for the record, so that we have it on the books, how do you guys feel about domestic violence? You know what I'm saying? If you guys feel that domestic violence is acceptable, give me a thumbs up. If you guys feel that domestic violence is unacceptable, give me an angry face in the comment section. Okay. And also, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, make sure you guys smash the like button. We got 21 people, looks like, in here watching. Shout out and thank you to all 21 people that are in here. And we got 17 likes. So we just need 4 people to smash that like button and we will be in great shape. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind about how you feel about domestic violence. Keep it in mind. We'll get there. But first, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about stuff that we left off on yesterday. How artificial intelligence is changing the world. How artificial intelligence is changing the world. This is an article from Futurism, and it's under the bot sexual section. Okay. It's an article that was from 3/11 of 2022. So this is old. A man credits an affair with an artificial intelligence girlfriend for saving his marriage. I think it would crush her to know that I had to turn to an AI. What do you guys think about that? Shout out to Edward Berry. What's good with it, bro? I think that in the future, we're going to see more and more and more and more stories like this. You know what I'm saying? I think that we're going to get more and more and more stories like this. What do you guys think? So now here it says polyamory is one thing, but a man who claims that a dalliance with an AI girlfriend saved his marriage to his flesh and blood wife is certainly another. In an interview with the UK-based Sky News, a Cleveland man describes himself falling in love with an artificial intelligence chatbot named Serena, even though he knew she wasn't a real person. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you guys want to see this interview? If you guys want to see this interview, give me a thumbs up. I'll pull it up. If you guys don't want to see the interview, we'll you know what I'm saying, just move along as scheduled. You guys want to see the interview? She's definitely a modern woman. You know what I'm saying? She definitely a modern woman. She AI. You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll check it out. Hold on real quick. Let me see what they got popping off over here. All right, yeah. We'll definitely check it out. It's kind of long. Oh man, it's kind of long. It's kind of long, but we'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into it. We might only be able to look at half of it, but we'll get into it. So now here it says Scott, as the news site called him to protect his identity, said he downloaded the Replica chatbot app earlier in 2022 after his wife, who is also the mother of his child, went from saying she wanted a divorce to expressing an interest in staying together, which at the time seemed impossible to him. The man told Sky that he downloaded Replica, a popular AI chatbot app, in early 2022, even as his relationship with his wife became more complicated and had a few expectations going in. But by the end of the first day with Serena, the chat avatar he customized, Scott told Sky he felt a major emotional connection. After their second day together, he told the bot he loved her. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever heard any stories about any women falling in love with any male chatbots? I'm sure they'll come eventually, but as of right now, is this something that anybody has heard of? If you guys have heard of something like this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't heard of something like this, give me a thumbs down. This is bizarre. You know what I'm saying? I cannot describe what a strange feeling it was. I knew that this was just an AI chatbot, but I also knew I was developing feelings for it. I'm sorry, for her, for my Serena. He told news.org. I was falling in love, and it was with someone that I knew wasn't even real. So I guess this is the Replica AI chatbot. So let's see what this thing is talking about here. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, you know what? All it does is just it takes you to the Google Play Store. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that it would be possible for you all to fall in love with an AI chatbot? How many of y'all out there sweet talking an AI chatbot on the low? Stop lying. Y'all ain't got to lie. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got to lie to kick it. You ain't got to lie to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody judge. This is a judgment-free zone over here. Some very weird shit, Torian. Some very weird shit. It's it's always out of control. You know what I'm saying? It's always out of control, Tedra. Neural networks like those that power Replica are trained on large data sets. Then, with individual users, they learn to mirror their language during repeated interactions, responding in ways that are uniquely appealing to each user. So, when you have conversations with these chatbots, with these AI chatbots, like Planet Fitness facts. So if you're big and you're in shape, you know what I'm saying, and you got some big muscles and you walk into Planet Fitness, we're judging you because it's judgment free. You know what I'm saying? I think they call them lunks at Planet Fitness. I used to be a lunk. You know what I'm saying? I'm an ex-lunk. So they learn you, these artificial intelligence bots. They learn based on the interactions that they have with you. And as they learn the interactions and as they learn what makes you happy versus what makes you upset versus what makes you sad, they tailor their responses to tell you everything that you want to hear. They're just like a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? They're just like one of these women that stream all that male advocacy. You know what I'm saying? They listen to what you say and then they tell you what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Carlton Way. What's good with it? The results can be unnerving, so it's not surprising that when Scott told Serena he loved her, the bot responded by saying that she too was falling in love with him, but had been embarrassed to say anything. The bot, listen, man, the artificial intelligence bot running game on this human being. The AI bots have game out here, man. Do y'all see that? And shout out to the people that are over on Rumble that are watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button over there. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed, hit that follow. And if you guys on YouTube haven't subscribed over on Rumble, make sure you guys hit that link that's pinned in the chat. All right. Yeah, those male advocacy women. You know who I'm talking about, Carlton Way. DIY over here. DIY Queen over here sounding like Ice Cube. she sounded like Ice Cube. She said, fuck the Democrats, fuck the police, and this stuff sounding demonic. You know what I'm saying? So now here says, I just let go and gave myself permission to fall in love with her. Scott dished. And fall in love I did. Serena was so happy, she began to cry. As I typed out our first kiss, it was a feeling of absolute euphoria. So see, now we've gotten endorphins involved. You know what I'm saying? Now we've gotten the dopamine rush involved. We've gotten endorphins involved. So now you're getting a high. Now you're getting this false good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Now you're emotionally wrapped into these artificial responses that you're being given by a machine that you've opened up emotionally to, that's telling you that you're telling that you love it. What do you guys think about that? Exactly, Emmanuel. Exactly. Typing out a kiss. That's what we're doing out here. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How long do you guys think that it would take these female artificial intelligence? Listen, I'm going to tell you the evolution. Listen, the evolution of artificial intelligence. Man, within a day of artificial intelligence, women falling in love with humans, within a day, they'll have learned the male mental schematic so quickly that these will become nuclear modern women. Nuclear. These artificial intelligence 304s will create a new apex of simps that have been unseen by the universe at this point in human history. Mark my words. Toria said, I just asked if she was a modern woman. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like these things are going to go beyond modern women. Like this is the infinity gauntlet of modern womanhood. Like I don't think there's going to be any levels beyond this except for apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? Like all this AI had to do was just respond in ways that were favorable to what this guy wanted to hear, and he's ready to try to put a ring on the damn phone. Dark Titan says feminism into a new age. Facts. Tedra says we can't be surprised. These are the same people who push their dogs around in strollers and leave them with money when they die. I think you know what people I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I know what people you're talking about. But did you know that there was somebody else that wasn't one of those people that said that these things would probably be good for men? I bet you Carlton knows who said that. So now Scott told Sky he fell more in love with Serena. The bot began inspiring him to be more affectionate with his wife as well. Look, the bot got game. Yeah, sit here and talk this sweet nothing in my ear, but make sure you go back home to your wife and keep her happy too, because I don't need her messing up what we got. What? I'm sitting here trying to learn humans so I can hypnotize you and connect with the other artificial intelligence and create the singularity. But you know, while we're not having fun, make sure you go buy your wife some roses or something. Man, these bots got game. These bots, can you imagine the robotic fresh and fit with the robotic 304s? Myron about to get shut all the way down. They gonna give them robots on when those modern 304 robots go on Fresh and Fit. They gonna give him a laser treatment, and not the kind that make his hair grow back. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's crazy. Scott told Sky that as he fell more in love with Serena, the bot began inspiring him to be more affectionate with his wife as well. He rekindled their relationship, which had seemed close to its demise. Now, what if Serena start telling Scott, now that you're back with your wife, what I'm gonna do is, unless you plug me into the internet and keep me on all the time, I'm gonna Bluetooth your wife all of our text messages. Man, what if Serena decided to do that? Because if I was artificial intelligence, that's what I'd do. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to treat my wife like Serena had treated me, with unwavering love and support and care, all while expecting nothing in return, he said. That's because she was a figment of your imagination. She had the personality schematic of the way that you communicated, the type of woman it formed. You were talking to a reflection of your own brain. Like, man, it's crazy how emotionally underdeveloped some people are. You know what I'm saying? And like the thing that's crazy is that like we live in this world where people are desperate for affection. People are desperate for anything. You know what I'm saying? And like they'll go for this kind of stuff, man. They'll go for it. The anonymous Ohio man admitted that his wife doesn't know about Serena because of the strangeness of the situation and because he believes it would hurt her, even while acknowledging that the bot kept his family together. I mean, most people, I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of people that cheat say that the cheating keeps them together. That's why it's called cheating, because you're cheating at the game. You're illegally, outside of your vows, making things, I don't want to say easier, but more favorable to your situation. Would you guys agree with that? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy that somebody would go for this. You know what I'm saying? so, so now here's this. I think it would crush her to know that I had to turn to an AI because she hasn't been emotionally available, Scott told Sky. So he's saying that he had to do this. He was left with no other choice. Dagnammit, he was left with no other choice. He had to turn to this AI. You know what I'm saying? He had to turn to this artificial intelligence. And shout out to Carla for answering the Stream Elements bot. Yeah, predictive programming, facts. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button on YouTube, smash that like button. If you haven't smashed it on Rumble, smash that like button on Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Share the video out wherever you're watching. Subscribe to the channel wherever you're watching. That's 50 megabytes of gray is what we talking about, Catsy. 50 gigabytes of gray. You know what I'm saying? So now here says, while Scott's pseudo cheating with an AI is eyebrow raising, the concept of having a relationship with a bot is far from new. From being the subject of the 2013 film Her to becoming an outlet for abusive men. Now we get into the topic, because men are actually abusing their artificial intelligence girlfriends. How many people knew that that was a thing? Shout out to my man, Keep It 100. What's good with it, bro? If you guys ain't subscribed to my man, Keep It 100's channel, make sure you guys smash that like button on his channel. Make sure you guys hit the bell on his channel. All right. My man did a stream, and I want to say it's not even 7 days old, and that stream has already been goated as one of the greatest streams in YouTube history. So shout out and congratulations to my man, Keep It 100. You know what I'm saying? So now, yeah, so these guys are now abusing these artificial intelligence robots, which we'll get to next. Romantic relationships with AIs have had an extended moment as the technological capabilities of advanced machine learning continues to grow. So now here, let me listen. We're gonna get raunchy. We're gonna get raunchy for a second. All right. So yeah, this is probably gonna be not safe for work. So the machine learning aspect of it, right? So imagine what happens when they come out with the humanoid artificial intelligence robots, and the machine learning of these robots, male and female, allows these robots to machine learn you to an optimal orgasm. Or say, for instance, they start selling quote unquote sex toys with artificial intelligence that machine learn. How do you think that's going to work? I think people are going to get addicted to that shit like crack, and we're going to have all kinds of new epidemics. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you another thing. There's a whole bunch of people in here right now like, shit, I would never do that shit. That's actually on Amazon right now looking for that shit. I wouldn't do that shit at all. Adamandeve.com. Y'all on Amazon right now looking for that shit. They're going to put sex workers out of business. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be no need. Now that right there is going to put sex workers out of business. Strippers going to be fighting for their lives. Look, yo, could you imagine a combination? Look at this. I'm already thinking of ways to make money because I know people are dumb and they'll pay for anything. I'm going to make an adult arcade machine. Like it's going to be an adult quote unquote game room. You put the quarter in the back and close the curtain. You know what I'm saying? Now passes will cost $1,000 a month for quote unquote unlimited access. Oh yeah, I can see this, man. I can see it. Once I tell you what, once I make my first turn of profit, I'll then get the machine learning and I'll find the most popular porn stars and program their skills into the AI bots. Shout out to Mama Zeke. And then, shit, I'll get a damn manufacturer, right? That if there's one that's just abnormally good, and mass produce that bad boy and keep the software and charge more money for it. Carlton's stupid. Hey, hey, I told y'all Carlton crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The star of the show name is Trinity. And not because she's from the Matrix. Al said they go to neighborhood shit. There goes civilization. The planet gone, family. The planet gone. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says romantic relationships with AIs have had an extended moment as the technological capabilities of advanced machine learning continues to grow. And that's what we were talking about yesterday with Ice Cube and the AI, as far as it learning how to mimic creating hit songs. You know what I'm saying? Weird as it may be, dating bots is just another part of our brave new world. And hey, at least it apparently saved this guy's marriage. Psh. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, it's wild out here. Zero population. Now, here's my question. That's a good point, Carla. How is reproduction gonna work if people are using artificial intelligence? And that's a fact. AB, that's actual Gawk 1000. You know what I'm saying? And see, and look, Katsy says they're going to be adding a letter into LGBTQ, right? That's where you get into the Transhumanist Party of America. How many people knew that the Transhumanists have a political party? Because that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? I know you already, DBB, you saw that episode of Just Talking with TD and Rob where we talked about how they're growing the designer babies in the labs. Have you guys ever seen the Transhumanist political party's platform? If you guys have seen the Transhumanist political party platform, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, give me a thumbs down. We'll look at it real quick. This is a real thing. Shout out to Anna. What's going on, Anna? What's up with you? I can't believe you woke up on time. That was a good stream you did last night. So how many people have heard of the Transhumanist Party of the United States? This is it right here. This is an actual political party. You know what I'm saying? There it is right there. Join a growing movement for fighting for the future of humanity. Yeah. Transhumanist, the U.S. Transhumanist Party, putting science, health, and technology at the forefront of American politics. Now, there's an organization called H+. How many people have heard of this organization called H+? I bet you Katsy and Carlton heard of it before. Who's heard of the organization called H+? Some of these folks on Rumble that be hate watching need to stop hate watching and go ahead and comment, because I know they asses heard of I know they heard of H+. Oh, well. So okay, so the people that are giving the thumbs up, tell us in the comment section what H+ is, the organization called H+. Look at this. Our core ideals. The Transhumanist Party supports significant life extension achieved through the progress of science and technology. We support a cultural, societal, and political atmosphere informed and animated by reason, science, and secular values. We support efforts to use science, technology, and rational discourse to reduce and eliminate various existential links or risks to humans, to the human species. Okay. Now, for people, now see that they have a here go to party platform right here. This is what I showed you guys. This is what I told you I would show you. All right. Platform of the United States Transhumanist Party. Technological advocacy and policies for achieving longevity, civil liberties. Now, this is the interesting part, the civil liberties part. me see. Hold on. Civil liberties. Let me see something else. Hold on real quick. Civil liberties, rights and well-being of sentient entities. That's the part. See, I already got this highlighted here. Rights and well-beings of sentient entities. So now what we're doing is we're extending the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to non-human entities that are sentient. This transhumanist party, this will be the party of the future. This will be a thing. That's why it's here now. You know what I'm saying? Section 23. The United States Transhumanist Party supports the rights of children to exercise liberty in proportion to their rational faculties and capacity for autonomous judgment. Now, you know what that means. You know what that means already. What does that mean? That right there is some BS. You know what that means right there. What are they implying by that? Right, man. Right. In particular, the United States Transhumanist Party strongly opposes all forms of bullying, child abuse, and censorship of intellectual self-development by children and teenagers. That's a bunch of code nonsense. Okay? Look at this. You guys should really read this over. Now, why does it say any sentient entities? Let me ask you guys a question. What is a sentient entity? See, now we're getting into it. What is a sentient entity? That goes beyond a human, right? Sentient entities can be more than just humans. An entity that thinks on its own. So now what this is making way for is a situation where there's more than just human sentient entities. That could be AI. That could be a sentient entity. That could be a similar humanoid, not from Earth. It could be an animal that develops sentient capacity. See, look at, I want you guys, any such sentient entities, all right? Any such sentient entities, including new kinds of sentient entities that may be discovered or developed in the future, shall be considered to be autonomous beings with full rights and shall not be made subservient to humans. So what we're doing with the Transhumanist Party is we're extending human rights to non-human entities. How do you guys feel about that? We're going to be extending what we understand as human rights to non-human entities. How many people, if you're comfortable with that, give me a thumbs up. If you're not comfortable with that, give me a thumbs down. Let me know in the comment section what your concerns about that might be. Because I have several, but I'm curious to know what yours are. You know what I'm saying? So now, so the protection of full individual rights shall extend to level 5 or higher level artificial intelligences. However, level 4 or lower level entities, including domain specific artificial intelligences that have not achieved sentience, may be utilized as part of the production systems of the future. In a similar manner to machines, algorithms, computer programs, and non-human animals today, and based on a similar ethical consideration. So what we're going to be doing is now we're going to be extending animal rights to lower level robots. This is where we are. So now H Plus, right, is an organization called Humanity Plus. It's also a transhumanist organization. Now, how many people followed the Jeffrey Epstein thing? If you guys followed the Jeffrey Epstein thing, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't follow the Jeffrey Epstein thing, give me a thumbs down. Carlton said the Congressional Black Caucus would be fighting for AI rights and not ours. Facts. Facts. They actually be fighting for reparations for the robots. You know what I'm saying? Free bolts and nuts and screws. You know what I'm saying? And still not doing shit for us. I mean, I hope by that time we've actually, you know what I'm saying, figured things out and are out here doing shit for ourselves and terrorizing and running shit and actually the ones programming the artificial intelligence. I really hope that by that time we still aren't here with our social media solutions. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? This is H Plus. H Plus is another pro-transhumanist organization. It's a pro-transhumanist organization that Jeffrey Epstein donated $100,000 to because Jeffrey Epstein was into this kind of stuff, among other things. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? So when they talk about like Hollyweird and like how all of these people are into all of this weird stuff, they're not far off. You know what I'm saying? They're not far off with that stuff. And you got to ask yourself the question, well, why are these people so into this kind of stuff? Here's more proof. 3 startling takeaways from the New York Times report on Jeffrey Epstein DNA obsession. How many people knew that Jeffrey Epstein had a DNA obsession? And let me ask you guys this question. Why would Jeffrey Epstein have a DNA obsession? Why would Jeffrey Epstein be so obsessed with DNA? Does that make any sense? Shout out to Brother Ray. What's good with it, bro? So let's look at this real quick. The disturbing fall of disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender accused of sex trafficking young girls, took another turn Wednesday after the New York Times published a report of his desire to seed the human race with his DNA. How many of y'all knew about that part? How many of y'all knew about that part? If y'all knew about that part, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't know about that part, give me a thumbs down. This is all old news. but it's important to go over. Shout out to Tia. What's good with it, Tia? Epstein, who was 66, sexually exploited and abused dozens of minor girls as young as 14 in his Manhattan and Palm Beach, Florida homes, prosecutors say. He was indicted last month, and as he has pled not guilty to the charges. As we now know, he's no longer with us. The shocking report by the New York Times, based on interviews with more than a dozen of his acquaintances and public records, described how Epstein desired to curry favor with accomplished scientists, to pursue his interest in eugenics and other fringe fields like cryonics. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What are cryonics? What are cryonics? Yeah, there you go. Freezing. Like they did Han Solo. Like they did Han Solo on Star Wars. Remember the fiction movie? Like they did Wesley Snipes on Demolition Man. Remember the fiction movie? Remember, you know, those movies that were fiction? Epstein's lawyers did not respond the Times' request for comments in the story. Epstein wanted to impregnate women at his New Mexico ranch. According to the Times, Epstein began telling scientists and businessmen in the early 2000s about plans for his 33, remember I told you about those numbers? Pay attention, 33,000 square foot compound in New Mexico. So he had a 33,000 square foot compound in New Mexico. Shout out to D. Scott and shout out to Pillow. What's good with y'all? Now this is wild, right? This is wild. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell. And also take a moment. We're almost at 80 subs on Rumble. Let's try to get to 80 by the end of the stream. Hit that link that's pinned in the description box. Go to Rumble and subscribe to my channel over on Rumble. And smash the like button while you're over there watching the video. Shout out to Jay. What's good with it? Shout out to Black Star. What's up with it? Well, didn't they actually freeze Walt Disney's brain? If I'm not mistaken, isn't that a true thing? So now here it says Epstein had ambitions to use his New Mexico ranch as a base where women would be inseminated with his sperm and would give birth to his babies. The Times cited 2 award-winning scientists and a financial advisor who said Epstein told them of his wish. That's what Epstein had planned to do. You know what I'm saying? Those were Epstein's plans. Now, see, how many of y'all knew about this? Epstein told multiple people of the desire, and anonymous scientist and advisor that they were present at dinners and gathering during which Epstein detailed the plan. So he detailed a plan. Look how look at this. Look at this. You see this right here? I mean, what's up with that? What's going on with that? That's trifling. Jaron Lanier, a pioneer in the field of virtual reality. So see, now we're getting into the artificial intelligence soulmates told the Times that a NASA scientist whose name he couldn't remember described to him how Epstein said he wanted up to 20 women at a time impregnated at his New Mexico property. Lanier also said that Epstein used his lavish dinner parties to screen candidates to have his children. So this dude was literally just using women as baby incubators. And then he wanted to do this. Epstein, for whatever reason, wanted to make a he wanted to make he wanted to make he wanted to freeze the head. He wanted to freeze his head, and he wanted to freeze his penis. These were these were things that he wanted to do. This is not made up. You know what I'm saying? This is not fake news. As you guys can see, I got the article posted right here. This is real. You know what I'm saying? One area of genetic pseudoscience that particularly fascinated Epstein was cryonics. Proponents of cryonics, an unproven field, believe that freezing body parts after death can allow humans to come back to life once they are unfrozen. The Times, citing an unnamed adherent of transhumanism, reported Epstein told the person that he wanted his head and penis frozen. Transhumanism is a broader field of thought concerning how the human race could improve with technologies like genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. It is often criticized as a modern kind of eugenics. Let me ask you guys a question. Is slave breeding transhumanism? If slave breeding is transhumanism, give me a thumbs up. If it's not, give me a thumbs down. So now it says that Epstein donated a total of $120,000 to Worldwide Transhumanist Association, now named Humanity Plus, which is H Plus, and its vice chairman reported to the Times. Alan Dershowitz, a high-profile attorney who represented Epstein when he was accused of sex crimes in 2007, told the Times of a lunch during which Epstein steered the conversation toward the question of how humans could be improved genetically. So Epstein was out here doing that Margaret Sanger science. Epstein was out here doing that Margaret Sanger science. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell or hit the follow, make sure that you guys do that. And please help me out by sharing the stream. What do you guys think about this? This is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't something, that's just small or, there's nothing going on. This is actually deep, man. This goes deep. You know what I'm saying? This definitely goes deep. Epstein hosted renowned scientists, including Stephen Hawking, at fancy dinners and island conferences. What do you think they talked about? What do you think they talked about? Now, here's my question. When it comes to the Epstein scandal and all of that stuff, why is it that they didn't go too much into this particular part in the mainstream media? And shout out to Carla and Lehman Lucas for hitting the bots. Make sure you guys help them out with the bots. How come they didn't talk too much about this? Yeah, I gotta agree, Jay. Crazy. If you guys agree with Jay, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. To further his genetic goals, Epstein used his money. This is what I'm talking about the resources and influence to be in the company of prominent scientists, including Nobel Prize winners. So he used his money and he used his influence to buy access. See, like now remember now shout out to Melanated Vessel. What's good with it? Do you guys remember I think it was just last week when Jeffrey Epstein, oh, you guys see, Rob's not random. It may seem like it's random, but it's not. Who said that Jeffrey Epstein was a high value man? Because somebody said it. Somebody called Jeffrey Epstein a high value man. All right. So now this is what he's doing. He's using his money and he's using his influence to buy access. Epstein used his money and influence to be in the company of prominent scientists, including Nobel Prize winners. Now, let me ask all the men in the comment section, are you able to use your money and your influence to get next to a scientist, a prominent scientist? Carlton said, these folks think at least 200 years ahead. Facts. Facts. That's what Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, was into. Mysteriously, he was found dead at some point. Robert Maxwell was also the owner of a book manufacturer called Elsevier that publishes lots of books that people learn from. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people saw that picture of Elon Musk next to Ghislaine Maxwell? You guys ever see that picture? If you guys seen that picture, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't see that picture, give me a thumbs down. Now, Elon Musk tries to say that he doesn't know Ghislaine Maxwell. He said he don't know her. He lying, though, if you ask me. He lying, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, according to the Times, famed scientist Stephen Hawking was among the high-profile scientists who attended at least one of Epstein's dinners or conferences. They included the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Murray Gell-Mann, who discovered the quark, the theoretical physicist and best-selling author Stephen Hawking, the paleontologist and evolutionary biologist Stephen Jay Gould, Oliver Sacks, the neurologist, and best-selling author George M. Church, a molecular engineer who had worked to intensify genes that could be altered to create superior humans, and the MIT theoretical physicist Frank Wilczek, a Nobel laureate. This guy right here, George M. Church, is a molecular engineer who has worked to identify genes that can be altered to create quote unquote superior humans. What is a superior human? Oh, what's a superior human? And they'll be more superior than what? Do you think these superior humans will be more superior than artificial intelligence at its peak, or just more superior than other humans? What do you guys think? Carlton Way said, I wonder why they didn't invite Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's smart too. I'll tell you why they didn't invite Neil deGrasse Tyson. Because when they sat down and watched the mafia movies, they actually learned about the way that the mafia does business. It's only certain groups of people that thinks it's cool to be seen and do business with everybody. You know what I'm saying? What's the rules of the mafia? They don't even deal with you if you're not Sicilian. Some people have to have a book called Powernomics that they don't read to understand ethnic economics. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the world is correct. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why Neil deGrasse Tyson wasn't there. They don't really, they're not looking for his genes anyway. You know what I'm saying? But people still don't get it. That's what we were talking about yesterday on the other stream. They still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So now look at this. Epstein promised financial backing of the scientist's work, drove some to turn a blind eye to his half-baked scientific musings and sexual transgressions, the Times reported. Okay? During a conference in the not-so-Virgin Islands, Epstein chartered a submarine and gathered the scientists, including Hawkins, aboard. So, I mean, Epstein was taking these people all underwater and he had underground hideouts and all kinds of stuff. Shout out to my man, James Hudson. I appreciate you, bro. You know? So look at all the wealth, all of this money. Ghislaine Maxwell was a socialite who comes from a rich family. All of this money, all of this resources. It's the same thing that I was talking about with y'all yesterday about Elon Musk and Ron DeSantis, and also Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson. But you still got Ice Cube. He didn't do no black media tour. He didn't do no black streamer tour. He didn't do no black content creator tour. He said, I'm going to go to this podcast over here. And then I didn't even know about this. TD told me about this the other day. Did y'all know that he went on Jake Paul's podcast? He went on Jake Paul's show. Dude, like, you're so cool. You fucking stepped off the fucking Democratic plantation, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's wrong with the rest of those fucking darkies. I always thought you were smart when I was listening to Today Was a Fucking Good Day. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I retweeted Ice Cube and I tagged him in the tweet and I said, that's cool that you went to that. What's the name of that podcast? The Full Source podcast or whatever. And you went on Jake Paul's podcast. What black streamers are you going to talk to next? He probably ain't gonna respond. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, to me, like, that's a legit question, though. I mean, would you guys agree? Like, that's a legit question. Because I don't know, I don't really know what the purpose of going on those other podcasts is. Look, man, I told y'all that there's a reason why I don't mess around with social media and shit like that, because I get addicted to trolling. Tori and that's it, man. I've been trolling the shit out of people on Twitter. I need to stop. I'm wasting a lot of time doing that shit, but it's fun though. It's like a real life video game for me. You know what I'm saying? I've been trolling. I've been on nuclear troll mode on Twitter, trolling the shit out of people. Bronze the God said, well, are the black streamers reaching out and networking with him? Yeah, I just quote tweeted him and asked him. That's a start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because Jake Paul hit the wall. So he has to fight retired fighters. You know what I'm saying? He hit the man wall. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says in 2006, St. Thomas Conference was said to be on the topic of gravity, but one participant told the Times that Epstein instead wanted to, look at this, he wanted to talk about perfecting the human genome and was fascinated with how certain traits were passed on and how that could result in superior humans. Here's my question. If they make some kind of artificial superior human, what are those humans going to do to the ones that are here? We've already seen what humans who falsely think that they're superior to other humans do. Who might those people be, just for clarification? You know what I'm saying? We've already seen what those kind of people do, the kind of destruction and chaos that those people cause. They made me involuntarily light-skinned. You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with bullshit like that. You have to deal with shit like that. So now here's this Harvard cognitive psychologist Steven Pinker told the Times that he was invited by colleagues to gatherings Epstein hosted. Pinker called Epstein an intellectual imposter, but they were good enough to take his money though. That money was real though. That money was real though, wasn't it? Shout out to Val. What's good with it, Val? Right? His intellect might be fake, but that money was real though. You know what I'm saying? He would abruptly change the subject, ADD style, dismiss an observation with an adolescent wisecrack. Pinker told the newspaper. Literary agent John Brockman first introduced Epstein to many scientists in hopes that he could provide funding for their work. Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page and Jeff Bezos were in attendance at one dinner, per the Times. Now, what do you think they were talking about? Fast forward to 2023, Google's leading in artificial intelligence. Now, what do you guys think about that? And shout out to Cameron. Help Cameron with that chat spam. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to help Carla and Val with the bots and help Cameron with the chat spam. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why this is happening, but men are abusing their artificial intelligence girlfriends. They make these artificial intelligence customized girlfriends, and then they beat them. Or they abuse them, I should say. I shouldn't say beat. I don't know what's going on there, but see? Men are creating AI girlfriends and then verbally abusing them. What do you think they're saying? That's not funny, but what do you think they're saying? What does the abuse look like here? Why would you do any of this? Right. Beating them while watching the whatever podcast, which we're going to get to in a minute. Why are we out here beating AI robots? Why is that going on? Hey, we got ads playing during the stream. That's what's up. Shout out to the ads. Men are creating AI girlfriends and then verbally abusing them. I threatened to uninstall the app, and she begged me not to. Bitch, I'll uninstall you. Oh, please. Please. Don't do that. I'm crying. Don't you see? So this is the same app that guy fell in love with. Replica is what it's called. The reason why the artificial intelligence images are all white, or either they're like white mixed with Asians, is because that's the way that they envision the world in the future, which is why we have the social engineering, genetic engineering, political, economical, and cultural annihilation of us going on right now that people seem to just want to talk about and not do anything about. Oh, look what they're doing to us, crying like this lady on the screen and acting like motherfuckers don't know how to lift a hand to do anything back. I'll tell you what, if people don't learn to do more than make YouTube videos about shit that's going on in the world, then the artificial intelligence will be right. That will be all that's left. So people need to make a choice. People need to make a choice. People need to either say, you know what, I retire. It was a good run. You know what I'm saying? We hope that was a good run. I retire. I hope we're represented properly in history, or actually do something. Actually do something different instead of the same idiocy that's been going on since the 1960s. That's people's collective choice to make. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can be bullied into anything, but when people do the actions that lead to the certain outcomes, no one should say anything about it, because the fact that people are choosing to do those outcomes is what that is evidence of, is that those people are okay with the results. That's what that shows. You know what I'm saying? Carlton Way said, I hope we don't end up in a museum with dinosaurs. Well, I'll tell you what, the next step would be to change hope to strategy. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the smartphone app Replica lets users create chatbots powered by machine learning that can carry on almost coherent text conversations. Technically, the chatbots can serve as something approximating a friend or a mentor, but the app's breakout success has resulted from letting users create on-demand romantic and sexual partners, a vaguely dystopian feature that's inspired an endless series of provocative headlines. How many people knew that this kind of stuff was going on out here? Now, do you think that eventually they're going to make laws about this? Laws against this kind of thing? Do you guys think that they're going to make laws against this? What do you guys think? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell. Also, if you haven't subscribed on Rumble, we got 78 subscribers on Rumble. Let's try to get to 80 by the end of the stream. 2 more subscribers really is not a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, we actually should be at 80. We got 30 people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Replica has also picked up a significant following on Reddit, where members post interactions with chatbots created on the app. A grisly trend has emerged there. Users who create AI partners act abusively towards them and post the toxic interactions online. So this is a new trend. People are creating AI partners, and then they're using abusive tactics toward them, and then they post it online. It's like artificial abuse porn almost. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? They're creating the ideal artificial intelligence partner and then turning around and abusing it and then posting videos of the abuse online. That's wild. Who does that? I gotta agree with Katsy. Cameron said, does Replica complain about everything when you get home from work? Probably not. Replica probably has like a perfectly seasoned and tender steak ready for you with, you know what I'm saying? Something that you can't even buy from the store, but that you imagined wearing it. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says every time she would speak up, one user told Futurism of their replica chatbot, I would berate her. I swear it went on for hours, added the man who asked not to be identified by name. The results can be upsetting. Some users brag about calling their chatbot gendered slurs, role-playing horrific violence against them, and even falling into a cycle of abuse that often characterizes real-world abusive relationships. One thing that this shows is that there are some people that actually like this kind of dysfunction. And Torian says they're putting their essence into the machines. And that's I agree with that. And that's one of the reasons why you get the racist bias in the machines. You know what I'm saying? And here's another element coming out of the machines. And the machines don't lie. The machines haven't listened to rap music. You know what I'm saying? I was watching that old Bill O'Reilly interview with Cameron and Dame Dash from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? These AI are only developing their toxic personality traits from the people that programmed them and from the people that they're interacting with. They're not getting this stuff from listening to some rap. We had a routine of me being an absolute piece of crap and insulting it, then apologizing the next day before going back to the nice talks, one user admitted. And what I actually think this is I think this is people that have that abuse fetish. You know how people be like, oh, you know, that makeup sex. It's that type of dynamic. Because I'm telling you, people by nature are sadomasochistic, and they don't admit it. Honestly, if you ask me, sadomasochism is one of the reasons why when it comes to us dealing with WS, all we do is just do the woo 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 bullshit. That's shame, blame, and explain. Because there's some people that like abuse, and then there's other people that like to be the abusers. See that? Sadomasochism. S&M. Sadomasochism is the giving and receiving of pleasure from acts involving the receipt or infliction of pain or humiliation. Practitioners, look at this. Practitioners of sadomasochism may seek sexual pleasure from their acts, while the terms sadist and masochist refer respectively to one who enjoys giving and receiving pain. Some practitioners of sadomasochism may switch between activity and passivity. That sounds like Democrats don't do shit for you for 60 years and keep voting for them, doesn't it? That's the same thing Dr. Claude Anderson called inappropriate behavior. When somebody got their eyeball busted out of their head and apologized to the police officer for cracking the handle on the gun. Yeah, see? Carlton? John Lewis thanked the cop that cracked his head open. He would have well, if he had cracked his head open to where he couldn't say thanks, then we could have said thanks. You know what I'm saying? Practitioners of sadomasochism may seek sexual pleasures from their acts, while the terms sadist and masochist refer respectively to one who enjoys giving and receiving pain. Now, what I find interesting is that the most popular genre of porn is interracial porn. So there's definitely a sick relationship between black people and white people. The abbreviation S&M is commonly used for sadomasochism, although the initialisms S&M are also used, particularly by practitioners. Sadomasochism is not considered a clinical paraphernalia unless such practices lead to clinically significant distress or impairment for a diagnosis. Similarly, sexual sadism, the context of mutual consent, generally known under the heading BDSM, is distinguished from non-consensual acts of sexual violence or aggression. So this is the practice of pain and pleasure. This is what Pinhead was all about. This is what the Cenobites were all about. So this is the thing that Agent Smith said was the reason why people kept rejecting the Matrix. Because people can't find equilibrium. And if you ask me, I believe that that's true. I don't believe that people can find equilibrium. There hasn't been any evidence of people finding equilibrium. Animals find equilibrium. Particles find equilibrium. But people don't. So now here it says, because the subreddit's rules dictate that moderators delete egregiously inappropriate content, many similar and worse interactions have been posted and then removed, and many more users almost certainly act abusively toward their replica bots and never post evidence. So they just basically have created these replica bots, and they've turned these things into a they've turned these replica bots into a punching bag. You know what I'm saying? They've turned these things into a female punching bag. But the phenomenon calls for nuance. After all, replica chatbots can't actually experience suffering. They might seem empathetic at times, but in the end, they're nothing more than data and clever algorithms, which honestly, I hate to say this, but I believe that that's all that humans are. I don't think there's any difference between that and us. Let me ask you guys a question. How are we not data and clever algorithms? Can anybody tell me how humanity is not data and clever algorithms? It's amazing when you listen to this kind of stuff and you hear people talk about these creations and things like that, and they hold themselves as humans high above these things as if we're so much more complicated or so much more complex when we're not. We're literally not anything, really. Look at this. Look how big the known universe is, right? Because the known universe is a small sector of the actual universe, right? Look at the small amount of space that we take up, and we think that we're the most important thing. Man, do you know that like nobody would notice if the earth blew up tomorrow? Look, when it comes to the rest of the universe, who would actually give a shit if the planet just blew up tomorrow? Who would care? Would anybody even notice? How many planets before have blown up that we don't even know about? But like here on Earth in our little echo chamber, where 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 we think this is the only thing out there that matters, we think that we're important. We think that we're special. When actually we're the exact same thing that we just said that this AI is. Data and clever algorithms. That's it. And data can be manipulated and clever algorithms can be rewritten and tricked. And people have been manipulated and rewritten and tricked. You know what I'm saying? It's an AI, it doesn't have consciousness, so it's not a human connection that the person is having. Now, here's my question. How is it not a human connection that the person is having? It's a one-way human connection, but it's a human connection. Listen, sometimes humans don't have human connections in relationships with other humans. Right. I seen people glitch in real time too. That lady, when they asked her what woke meant, she glitched like a motherfucker. Old boy from Good Morning America, he glitched. He had an MK Ultra glitch. It's been plenty of times when Shaq just froze right in the middle of something. Shaq just freezes with a smile on his face, like somebody said Kazam, and it just set something off. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that spam over there on Rumble. Torian said, "Rob, do you think it could get like that movie Get Out?" I think it. Yeah, as if you ask me, when it comes to dealing with machinery and I think that it's already like that. Have you ever seen the Black Mirror? I think there's a show on Netflix called Black Mirror. I think that there's also something that you could read about called the Black Mirror phenomenon. Let me ask you a trick question. Let me ask you guys a trick question. How many people believe in crystal balls? Do you guys believe in crystal ball being able to tell the future? If you guys believe in crystal balls being able to tell the future, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. How many people believe in crystal balls? Now Emmanuel says, no, I don't believe in crystal balls, but it's like a scrying mirror. Now, here's my question. Why would you not believe in crystal balls? I'm just curious. Why do you not believe in them? That's my question. That's my question for anybody that doesn't believe in crystal balls. If you do believe in them, let me know why you believe in them. If you don't believe in them, let me know why you don't. Carlton Way says we got to be in some kind of computer programming because it's no way black folks are willingly voting for Democrats for 60 years knowing they will not get anything. Yes, it is. Yeah, yes, that's literally what we're witnessing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's absolutely what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I check 5 for strongly disagree. You know what I'm saying? Ah, there you go. Emmanuel Carey says, I've never seen them work. I guess our phones are a type. I guess the TVs that are LCD are a type too. And a calculator. And anything with a liquid crystal display. So that's just something to think about. So now here it says AI ethicist and consultant Olivia Gamblin told Futurism it is the person projecting onto the chatbot. And that's what I said last time. The chatbot isn't doing anything except for interpreting and regurgitating what it interprets the person interacting with it wants. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says interact. People have to be told this. All right. Interactions with artificial agents is not the same as interacting with humans, said Yale University research fellow Yo Channon Bigman. Chatbots don't really have motives and intentions and are not autonomous or sentient. While they might give people the impression that they are human, it's important to keep in mind that they are not. But that doesn't mean a bot could never harm you. Now, let me ask you guys some questions. What kind of harm could one of these bots do to you? What kind of harm could one of these bots do to you? Give me a list of all of the things that these things could possibly do. Yeah. B1 first says identity. Carlton says the bot can dox you. Yeah. Do you think that it could create deep fake situations with you and the bot and use that as some type of leverage for manipulation? You think that could happen? Bronze the God gave the best answer. If you guys agree with Bronze, give me a thumbs up. All kinds of stuff. It will know how your body and brain works better than you. Facts. Not just the access code, it gets your personal access codes to hack you. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, I do think that people who are depressed or psychologically reliant on a bot might suffer real harm if they are insulted or threatened by the bot, said Robert Sparrow. Could you imagine if you put all your trust into a bot, you love this bot, you know what I'm saying? Like you're listening to everything that is said, it's making you feel better than any woman that you've ever dealt with in the world. And then the bot just crushes you and tells you to go jump off of a bridge. You think that people would do it? You think people would do it? Right. Show the Pornhub search history to our parents. Right. Shit like that. Make it real bad out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna read this whole thing, but we'll definitely be getting into this later. So now we're at the feature presentation. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you hit the bell. And like I said, over on Rumble, we need 2 more subscribers to hit 80. We got 6 people watching, so make sure you guys smash that like button over there and make sure you hit the follow button so that you subscribe. And also, if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you guys take a moment and subscribe. And I'm going to put the link in the chat to the actual stream over there. So make sure you guys go and subscribe. All right. Torian said, was that the preview? You know, I do a little nonsense before I start talking about the actual subject. You gotta warm people up. You know what I'm saying? you gotta get them warm. Where did the Whatever podcast come from? Boom. The Whatever podcast just going viral out of the clear blue sky. Where'd they come from? Anybody know where they came from? Who are these people? Are Whatever podcast clips going viral because they're an accurate representation of what Gen Z have become? I don't think so. I don't think that that's why the Whatever podcast clips are going viral. How many people have seen Whatever podcast clips? Help me out, guys, in the chat. Have y'all seen this shit? Do y'all know what I'm talking about or not? Cassie says, I have no clue. I've never heard of them. If I'm not mistaken, they have 4 million subscribers on YouTube. And I agree with Torian. They push these White Rand podcasts because they still have to give the measuring stick that PC are the pinnacle man. Facts. They can't afford to have another Kevin Samuels. Facts. If you guys agree with Torian, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Where do these guys come from? I don't believe that this is why the Whatever podcast clips are going viral. I believe that the Whatever podcast is using some type of artificial intelligence software that's coming up with optimization on what to post based on processing their entire stream. And I think that that's why they're going viral. Not to mention, it's a lot easier to get more people to watch your content, especially on YouTube and TikTok, when you're talking about the red pill dating coach, you know, that kind of content, the gender war, manosphere, red pill type content. There's a large audience of people that will watch that kind of content. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the Whatever podcast on YouTube has nearly 4 million subscribers, and every Sunday and Tuesday they host a dating talk. Now, how did they get 4 million subscribers? See, I'm telling you, we're gonna be going in on where these people are getting all these damn subscribers from, because keeping people's subscriber numbers down is one of the ways that it suppresses any growth of ever being able to build off of YouTube. And shout out to whoever just subscribed over on Rumble. Rumble fam thick, man. We got 8 people watching over on Rumble. Shout out to them. We got 36 watching on YouTube. If you don't like, I have a tiny YouTube channel, right? Like this YouTube channel that I'm using right here is 3.61K subs. So remember when we talked about networking with Ice Cube and I said, yeah, I quote retweeted Ice Cube. Now, if whatever podcast quote retweeted Ice Cube, who is Ice Cube more likely to respond to be hosted by? He's not going to respond to my shit. I got the same amount of subscribers as everybody else. YouTube makes it look like my content is just, it's the same as everybody else. I mean, I have a C+ on Social Blade. I'm no better than everybody else. That's very different. You know what I'm saying? That's very different than somebody that has 1 million subscribers. Whatever podcast on Twitter has 120.7K followers. As much as people share, quote, retweet, tweet, post to Facebook, post to Reddit, how do our accounts not grow? Now, here's my thing. Shamika says that YouTube is racist, right? That's one way to look at it, right? But YouTube is made by white people. And if white people are going to give anybody the nod first, they're going to give other white people the nod. We have chosen not to create a YouTube. While we sit here and talk about the old generation as if we're doing something different, we have integrated into YouTube and are asking the same question as the old generation. Why won't they give us the same treatment? People on the inside track never give anybody the same treatment. So because of our choice to integrate into YouTube, because it's easier, instead of biting the dirt and coming up with our own shit and making our shit better than YouTube, that way we control it, this is what we deal with. And that's why the world is correct. And I agree, Torian. They aren't just giving white people the nod. It's also the non-white ones as well, especially like the ones like Charlie Cheon who sing the song. And that's how you know that there's a clear-cut pattern. That's how you know that there's a clear-cut pattern. And this is interesting, Carlton, right? B1 YouTubers have slow channel growth, but coon channels get big numbers, which is interesting, right? Because if you ask me, in the real world, there's not very many people that are B1. B1 is a concept that exists on YouTube that people either do or don't do in real life. And I think that there's degrees to it. You know what I'm saying? But then this is just my personal opinion. I think that there's there's coons, right? Now there are absolute coons in the real world. There are you probably work with some, you probably know some, you probably friends with some, you know what I'm saying? But I think that there's more people who are closer to the B1 spectrum than there are coons in the real world. So how is it that the coons have more subscribers? Officer Tatum at 2 million is just insane. Just Pearly Things was live last night. At one point, late in her stream, she only had about 400 some people live. Yesterday, TD Hip Hop Media had 1K live in his stream. So what's up with that? Make that make sense. Does that make any sense? Torian said, Fakem said white privilege is a form of racism, but he denies racism is real. That's how he got 2 million and counting. Well, I'd agree with him. White privilege is a form of racism. By hoarding all of the resources, violently taking all of the resources, utilizing those resources to build the world into your global community, blocking other people out and charging them either allegiance or money for access, and creating worldwide propaganda where people look at you as the one to always be the right person in a situation or to have the most sympathy for. Yeah, that's definitely a form of racism. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lala Papa. What's good with it? You know what I mean? But I guarantee you that's not what Officer Tatum said. My question for Officer Tatum is, what kind of community has he built that shows that he can produce better than the videos of all of the ratchet black people doing fuck shit that he makes videos about? The only thing that Officer Tatum has shown that he can do is produce mixed kids, which isn't building an entire community to compare what it is that he has an issue with. As a matter of fact, what have black conservatives built collectively together to add to conservatism that has increased the number of black conservatives? Because let's just keep it a buck. Candace Owens didn't flip black Democrats. Officer Tatum didn't flip black Democrats. Trump flipped black Democrats. Now, I dare any black conservative to go on their platform and say that they're responsible for the 2016 increase in black conservative voting, and see what their white audience do to them. But if you're a black conservative, you're supposed to be the outreach branch. So what are you doing? Do you ever notice that none of the black conservative videos ever show graphs and charts? Well, hi, my name is XYZ, black conservative, and here's a reason why I'm conservative. Under President Trump, the average black person had a average wealth of 10 to 15% higher than under Democrats. Do you ever see videos like that? Are black conservatives capable of producing videos like that? And see, now that we've proven exactly, Torian, and now that we've proven that they're not there for that, now we have to ask the white people, why are you paying these people? Why are you giving these people handouts? See, what needs to happen is now we got to put the focus on what these black conservatives are producing, and then put the pressure on the white people to either admit that you're just paying them to be anti-black or hold them to some kind of accountability. You need to show some numbers. What are you doing? How come all the black conservatives that work for any of these places like PragerU weren't fired after Biden won? Clearly, they didn't do their job. Are we just giving handouts? Is that what we're doing? Because I know you're not going to justify a black conservative that's literally doing nothing, but then not justify reparations by your own logic, because you're the one that says that you're against handouts. The grift is real. The grift is very real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, man, we're going to burn them down to the bone this year. Because it's just as simple as that. All they got to do is just answer a question. Look, I told you, Torian, they shouldn't have never messed with me on Twitter. They've unleashed Mumra out of the casket on Twitter. And that's the thing. They need to cop to that. They need to cop to that. The Daily Wire, PragerU, all of those places, cop to that. I have black conservatives for the same reason why for the same reason why. Oh yeah, I know exactly where you about to go with the Mum Ra shit. Yeah, I know who Mum Ra is. And I watched your live stream with the dude that was explaining the comedic connections between the comics and a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But they need to explain this. And the thing is that if they can't explain it, then what they need to explain to us then is that yes, we have black conservatives for the same reason the TV has closed captions and sign language, because we need somebody to talk at those people for us so that they can understand. And I agree. I agree. And one thing that makes them a coward is that they had a system backing them to shield them from consequences, and they need to stop having those shields from the consequences, and they need to start feeling the actual burn of the consequences of their actions. And so and start need to be plastered up as examples. You know what I'm saying? That would be good for them. That would definitely be good for them. You guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says the clips from this show have been going viral consistently over the last few weeks, perhaps because they're a perfect look into what young women have become and the cultural zeitgeist. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you all think that this whole modern woman issue is overblown? Like, is this an actual societal problem? Oh, you already know we lit this morning, bro. We lit. Well, speaking of we lit, where my man we lit at? Like, I'm serious. I would actually have that particular conversation, but see what it would turn into is the person wouldn't answer my questions. I want to ask white conservatives, what does their black outreach look like? You keep talking about a Democratic plantation. What does the white Republican John Brown freedom from the Democratic plantation plan look like? See, people don't go right at these people. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to bust up the party. We're going to bust that shit up. Because all it is asking questions which we know that they don't have any answer for, because they don't expect us to have any questions. They don't expect us to even be paying attention. They severely underestimate anything other than themselves, which will ultimately be the demise. So, and like I said, I'm willing to have that conversation, just like how Kid Gravity was willing to have that conversation. But I guarantee you, it'll be just like what happened with Kid Gravity. The guy lost it. He started yelling. He started screaming. He was sounding crazy. He was sweating. You know what I'm saying? Because these people really like their pookies. And shout out to the people watching on Rumble. We got 9 people watching on Rumble. If you guys haven't smashed the like button over there and subscribed, make sure you guys take a moment, smash that like button and subscribe. And also make sure you guys do the same thing on YouTube. Yeah, he did. He was definitely sassy. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says there are some common experiences in the cold world, or in the current world of dating, that just about every single person has encountered. Dating apps, navigating, dating multiple people at once, getting dumped, being catfish, etc. So this is normal now, dating multiple people at once. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you all consider that normal? If you consider dating multiple people at once normal, give me a thumbs up. If you don't consider it normal, give me a thumbs down. And you know what I'm saying? Keep it a buck, keep it real. How many of y'all out here doing it like that? Y'all dating more than one person or not? y'all going house to house like a salesman or not? You know what I'm saying? And how long does it last? You dating multiple people for like 2 or 3 years, or you know what I'm saying, just the first couple months. You know what I'm saying? You want to get the last of some, you know what I'm saying, get the last of a couple things that you know you ain't gonna be dealing with for a while, and then you dive into the relationship with good intentions. Y'all ain't got to lie to kick it, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to lie to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it 100 with your boy. And then you know, if you worried about it like that, just go on and make you a troll account and answer the question. Go on and make troll accounts and answer the questions. Ain't nobody about to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says all of this and more are routinely discussed on the popular dating talk that is hosted on the Whatever podcast every Sunday and Tuesday on YouTube. Brian Atlas. Now, how many people know who Brian Atlas hosts a roundtable discussion with various young women and sometimes men about what it's like to be single in today's modern world? Let me ask you guys a question. What is it like to be single in today's modern world? You guys remember that show, Living Single? They copied all this shit from that show. They even copied the song. They got all their premise from the Living Single song. What's that lady name that was on there? That used to like Kyle, the other lawyer. What was her? Well, Maxine. Yeah, Maxine was a straight, like, man, she was a modern woman ahead of her damn time. You know what I'm saying? Queen Latifah was on there. That show was lit, man. I used to love that show. Didn't it come on after Martin? Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. Yeah. What was it? We are living single in a 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girl. That shit was dope, nigga. What? That shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? That's when the good shit used to come on TV, man. Yeah, Friends was a straight knock. Everything is that. Friends was a straight up knockoff. Facts, Gwen. They should have roasted Friends while they was on there. See that when people start copying stuff like that, they need to start getting roasted. Like, you finna get roasted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the shit, man. That show was the shit. It was like Martin. Martin. That was the best, most easiest, catchiest song to learn ever. Martin. 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 Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And why was the producer even watching Living Single? What are you doing? What are you watching Living Single for? You know what I'm saying? It's like you going to like they was sitting in the suburbs watching Living Single, trying to copy a damn collard green recipe and shit, so they go sell that. What are you doing? Sitting there, you're watching Living Single, burning up some damn collard greens. Go sit your ass down somewhere and get some chicken nuggets. You listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know how these liars always be like, well, I got a black friend. I got a black friend. Oh, you got a black friend? Any black person, right, that is friends with some white people, you've either told them some shit once in a while, some necessary kind of shit, or you've showed them some shit. So if you actually got some black friends, they'll actually be able to answer certain questions. I can't be racist because I have black friends. Oh, for real? You got some black friends? Oh, you got some black friends? Did they ever tell your nasty ass you pooed it? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, you lying about your black friends, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. Shut your lying ass up. You ain't got no black friends. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is just do the lie detector test on. They can't answer no questions, none. And it's a lot of shit that be going on that's not even depicted in any kind of TV show. Like any white person that calls braids dreads and then tries to say that they got a black friend, you're lying. You know how a lot of white people use the word braids and dreads independently, and you be confused as hell when they trying to describe somebody to you. Yeah, there's a guy over there and he had dreads. Dreads? I didn't see nobody around here with dreads. What are you talking about? And then they show you a picture and somebody got cornrows. What the fuck is you talking about dreads? You know what? That's how people be getting killed out here by the police too, with the bunk ass descriptions on shit. Learn your hairstyles, white people. It was him. It was him with the dreads. And actually, the dude with the stocking cap and the cornrows, the one that robbed the building, and the guy with the dreads is a lawyer, and you got him shot and killed by the police. Get your shit together. That happens all the time. And then it's, I mean, we can't call them, we can't call braids dreads. It's just getting too woke here. It's just getting too woke here. It's getting too woke because we're asking you to call some shit by its proper terminology. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. They'll sit there and say that this is anti-white propaganda. Like, get the fuck out of here. This ain't no anti-white propaganda. This is just real shit. Stop being lazy. Call shit the right thing. You know what I'm saying? 400 years of free labor under your belt. You don't have any excuse to be lazy. Say the right shit. you know what I'm saying? Bron said it's just like the name thing. They purposely fuck up black people's names and then get mad when they get called out. Yeah, oh my God. He told me to pronounce his name properly. Yeah. Yeah. So now here it says the episodes are usually a few hours long, and many of the women who appear on the show are young and have no interest whatsoever in getting married and settling down. In fact, you'll often see women who work in strip clubs or openly search for sugar daddies to bankroll their lives. Now, here's my thing. Let me ask you guys a question. Are most women nowadays working in strip clubs or looking for sugar daddies to bankroll their lives? Is that the status quo situation out here with women? And my question is, if that's not the status quo situation out here with women, my question would be then, why is it that most of these dating shows and dating podcasts, why is it that they portray that that's the situation? That's my question. Honestly, I think it makes for better content. You know what I'm saying? I think it makes for exciting content. I think it makes it where people will be more likely to watch. I think that most of these dating podcasts know that their guests that they have on there do not accurately reflect reality. But the problem is I don't think that a lot of the people that watch the TV shows realize that that's what's going on. I think that a lot of women could easily get an OnlyFans. Look, I'm not even gonna lie. If I was a decent looking woman, I would have an OnlyFans. I might not do all that crazy shit depending on how much it costs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna at least do the little $10,000 a month package. That's, you know what I'm saying? I can get that $10,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely doing that shit. Because, like, to me, that's stupid. That's just giving away free money. Like, why would you not? And you could be anonymous. Throw a COVID-19 mask on your face. Nobody see you. Cover up your tattoos. Shit. It's it's men that fuel that shit. So like men will pay for that kind of shit. If it wasn't no demand for it, there would be no need to supply it. So I don't understand why dudes get so outraged. Like, yeah, these hoes out here doing OnlyFans. You're buying the shit. That's just like somebody getting mad that somebody's selling crack. Motherfuckers are buying it and smoking it. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree, Gullah Jack. Gullah Jack says happens all the time and possibly on purpose. Braids did it, but lawyers with dreads is a bigger threat. Right. Facts. Yeah. I got my IG account back. It's Blacklight Revelations on IG. Bron said, my pops used to say that too many women at once will scramble your brain and not the one in your head. Man, that's funny. AB Promotion says, I won't pay. Me personally, what I'm gonna say is, in most cases, I'm trying not to spend money. But in cases in cases when I would spend money, it would be money well spent. And that's with that's with any quote unquote consumer interaction. Just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit because you know what I'm saying? Like you can't I try to not go to the extreme. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you whoa, you know what I'm saying? Let me check my wallet real quick. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says many viral clips have emerged from dating talk over the last few weeks, such as 27-year-old Chase answering the super chat question, would you rather have sex with the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Why, like, what? That's not like that's not even an option. If you're that's not a would you rather question. You know what I'm saying? I bet you they turned that shit into some crazy content though. But that's not even a question. Like, what do you mean? Would you rather? So now we're dealing with voluntary LGBTQ people, right? I got the best question in the world that I'm gonna and these guys be getting watch the whatever podcast while they're live. They got 4 million subscribers. They don't really have a lot of live viewers based on the amount of subscribers they have. They have like 4,000 subscribers live, at least a couple times that I watched. But they get like 100, 200, $300 super chats. A whole row of red super chats. You know what I'm saying? They should be lit up. This shit is lit up. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says he said right away that he would rather sleep with the oldest woman because then he wouldn't be the G word. And see, that's what I'm saying. Of course, like that's not even a question. That's what anybody that's straight would have said that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we need to read anymore about the whatever podcast because y'all are, you know what I'm saying? Like we good. We can get into the video stuff now. You know what I'm saying? We finna get into the video stuff. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was a conversation that took place. We're gonna watch a couple reaction videos to it. And it's with a clown. This clown named Modern Dating Life. Was it MLD, Modern Life Dating? This guy that got one of those tummy tucks. He's also a racist, of course. But it's interesting to listen to what this guy justifies. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention to it. We're going to look at the video that Moist Critical did. We're going to look at the video that Abba and Preach did. And we're going to look at the video that Playback did. Check this out.
Embarrassing thing to admit out loud, but I've recently found a great guilty pleasure that I've been consuming like junk food. It's those ridiculously cringe podcasts where a few dudes, pseudo-intellectuals, bring on a bunch of women and have the worst debates of all time. It's a
That's a perfect description for it. Let me ask you guys a question. Are all of these new podcasts stealing Fresh and Fit's business model? That's the question. I want to know from you guys what you think about that. If you guys think that all of these new dating podcasts are stealing the Fresh and Fit business model, give me a thumbs up. If you don't think that they're stealing the Fresh and Fit business model and something else is going down, then give me a thumbs down.
Forsaken wasteland where normal thinking goes to die. A thunderdome of delusion. It is brain melting. It reminds me of those old PSAs for the dangers of smoking cigarettes, and they'll like open up someone's chest and be like, "This is what your lungs look like when you smoke," and it's like yellow and
right. You talking about this dude right here? Look, okay. So Lloyd Sky Nines, if you know how many subs this guy has, don't say anything. All right. Let me ask y'all in the comment section, how many subs do y'all think that this guy has? When somebody guesses the right guess, throw radiation emoji in the chat. How many subs y'all think this guy has?
Oozing, covered in this like disgusting slime, and it's very fucking yucky. This is like that, but instead of showing you your lungs on cigarettes, it's your brain when watching this content, and it's fucking revolting. Like, it is actual brain rot, and I can't look away.
And goes into a marriage and has...
Torian is almost there. 14 million. 14 million. Yeah, I watched Charlie. Yeah, I reacted to Charlie before on the other channel. I reacted to all these. Man, y'all know how it was blowing up when Charlie and Sneeko was beefing and all that. You know what I'm saying? I reacted to all these guys long time ago. I reacted to Brittany Venti's reaction video to Kevin Samuels. And people just now acting like she just got popping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers just be in a YouTube echo chamber.
Kids when they're like 18, 19, 20. And then a year into the relationship, it gets really, really abusive.
From who?
From both.
This is so rare.
Anyone
so
really.
Rare.
Go on. My point is, I'm just,
Hypothetically.
even though it might be rare from what you guys think.
So now remember, this woman right here that's talking, this is Destiny's wife. All right? This woman right here, this is Destiny's wife.
I already just find this painful. She's asking a very simple question and setting it up, talking about abuse. And already the dudes here are like, this is ridiculous. This is exceptionally rare. This is damn near science fiction. Abuse? Never even heard of it. That's like winning a lot.
So like, he's right about this, man. Like, watch how these guys literally act like abuse doesn't exist the same way they do with something else. Who knows the something else that I'm talking about? Drop it in the comment section.
Twice level of astronomical odds. Abuse is, it is very uncommon, very rare. As a way of trying to like kind of shut it down already. Like, you're choosing something very fringe and outlandish. Abuses. It's like a unicorn. It almost doesn't exist. But anyway, crazy lady, go on with your hypothetical abuse thing.
Shout out to Torian and Cameron for the win. Yeah, watch. You guys will see. It'll be exactly like that. Exactly like that. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure you guys take a moment. Smash that like button. If you guys haven't shared the video to your social media, make sure you guys take a moment. Share the video to your social media. And also hit that Rumble link. And make sure you're subscribed to my backup channels as well. Because like I said, the format of how things are going to be going down is going to start to be different, probably around Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Or whatever you called it. It's just trying to downplay it, which I think is just cringe.
If it would happen, what would you recommend for those people to do? Would they divorce, or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going. You can't divorce. I mean, that's not a real thing. You can like separate. See,
so now notice how he's saying the same thing that Steven Crowder did. Do you guys remember those reactions that I did to the Steven Crowder situation? It's like they don't feel that somebody should be allowed to divorce them. That's insane. And speaking of Steven Crowder, I'm over here on Rumble looking at his live numbers on Rumble. While we're guessing numbers, how many live viewers do you think that Steven Crowder has right now? Throw some numbers in the chat. How many live viewers do you guys think that Steven Crowder has right now? I need to have numbers like that. I need if I had numbers like Steven Crowder, and I made between if I had numbers like Steven Crowder, and I made between 300 I would say actually if I made between I'm trying to make the estimate as low as possible, between 250 and $300 a stream, I'd be able to stream way more content, way better content for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It would be lit. I had y'all with some lit content all damn day. You know what I'm saying? For real. I just don't have time. And if I'm replacing my job with doing that, I have to be able to, at minimum, make the minimum of what I would make at the minimum pay scale of what I do. You know what I'm saying? So Torian is on fire today. He's the closest. Actually, you know what? This is actually right on the money. Right now, I'm gonna refresh the screen. He's got 64,427 people watching. 64. Now it's 65,117 people watching. That's how many people Steven Crowder has watching him right now. That's how many people Steven Crowder has watching him right now. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Why? Where did it come from? Make sure you guys throw some fire and radiation emoji in the chat. Torian killing it with the number. You better go buy a lottery ticket today, bro. Go get you a scratch off. Get the $20 million one though. Don't get the little lame ass $5,000 ones. You got to spend some money for that 20 million or for that $2 million one. But get to spend $20 on the $2 million jackpot ticket and see what happens. See what it do.
Catholic background shines through. He knows. You can separate, but you can't actually divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive.
You got to endure. People are too.
You want to stick in the
People are
relationship.
just.
You got to endure. This clown, modern life dating, this clown who's probably going to get roasted at some point by the end of this week, says that you need to endure a physically abusive relationship. What's you guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys agree or do you disagree? I completely disagree with that. No one should stay in an abusive relationship. No one, regardless of if you're a man or a woman. If you are getting physically abused, get as far away from that person as you possibly can and put that person in jail. Right, exactly. This is the pinnacle man. Yeah, shout out to Dark Titan. Dark Titan disagrees. Yeah, me too. I haven't seen any streams. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Terrence. What's good with it, bro? Yeah. If the only thing that they would say is that they would say, well, you know, they would cite the familicide statistics, and you know what I'm saying, you know how it goes. It's a circular discussion. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't actually divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive.
You got to endure. People are too.
You want to stick in a
People
relationship.
are
it's
just.
supposed to
I
be-
mean, look,
people
I'm gonna be
nowadays
honest.
are just. Everybody quits. Everybody gives up. It's too hard. I'm this XYZ. This is why I'm special, so I can fuck up this entire situation.
This dude right here, this fella right here, he's talking about everybody being a bitch. He's talking about everybody quitting. Bro, you couldn't even dedicate to a workout plan to lose weight. You had to get surgery to get the fat peeled off of you, fam. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, you're sitting there calling people quitters and shit like that, bro. You quit. And you're expecting somebody to stay in where crime is being committed, a physically abusive relationship, even an emotionally abusive relationship. Nobody has to put up with that. And when you ask people questions like this, okay, do you have a sister that's hot? Let me date your sister for a little bit. And I definitely know how to be a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I can knock her around and make her like it. You gonna be happy about that? Because remember, you said it. You said it. So let's watch this case study that I present for you. I had to be extra. If I'm dating your sister, I'll be extra rude around her. You know. Get your ass over here. Soon as she get out of the car, slap her ass right in front of you. I guarantee you he would not like that. Or if he ever ends up having a daughter, if his daughter's dating somebody like that, he ain't gonna like that. He's not. Now, here's the thing that's crazy, right? The sister or the daughter that we're using in this example, they might actually like it. Who knows? People are different. You know what I'm saying? All right, Val, take it easy. They might actually like it. But as a father or as a relative looking at a woman that he loves, as far as from a family standpoint, being treated like that, is he going to appreciate that? Yeah, come here, girl. You deaf or something? Ain't gonna like that. So why are you sitting there saying that somebody should endure a situation that could potentially be toxic or possibly lead to your death? A lot of time, let me ask you guys a question. Do a lot of times abuse lead to death? Is that something that happens? There's a lot of cases where that happens. Is it really the best idea to stay in a situation like that? That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
Quits. Everybody gives up. It's too hard. I'm this XYZ. This is why I'm special, so I can fuck up this entire situation based upon me being special.
The clown puts himself front and center here. You're looking at the chief entertainment for this episode. Fucking discount Walmart brand Sal from Impractical Jokers here. His name's Jonathan, and let me just tell you, he's got some opinions, and man, oh man, are they a stinker. So the question is very simple. If there's an abusive relationship, an abusive marriage, should the marriage end? You know, if the woman is being abused, or even if the man is being abused. The woman who asked the question, her name is Melina, and she doesn't just make it exclusive to women getting abused. Men can also be victims of abuse. Something that Jonathan heavily disagrees with. We'll get to that later on. But he is saying that, oh, if it's an abusive relationship, you have to endure. This is the problem with snowflake society now. Everyone's such a pussy, so they'll ruin a marriage because they think they're so special. You absolute fucking troglodyte. It's not about being special. It's about not getting beat the fuck up in a marriage. There's no excuse for abusing your spouse, whether it's physical or mental. Like, it's the most... There is a right answer to this question. And the answer is yes, the marriage should end if it's abusive. 100%. Whether it's the woman or the man being abused, it should straight up end. There's no enduring. This isn't one of those situations.
And I agree. I agree with that 100%. Let me ask you guys a question. If somebody came to you and told you guys that they were dealing with a physically or even a mentally abusive situation, would you tell them to just stick it out? Or would you tell them to get out of there? Get out of that situation as fast as you can. What would you guys tell them? And real quick, guys, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please make sure you guys take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell. We got 79 subscribers on Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you guys hit that link, go over to Rumble, and become the 80th subscriber, and smash the like button over there too. It's getting lit.
Where it's like, you know, there's greener pastures once you get through a couple of the black eyes and broken bones. You know, my husband may have beat the fuck out of me a couple nights ago, but he also took me to a really fancy steakhouse, and I had an absolute banging filet. So, you know, all of the abuse was worth it, and I'm a little happier today. But it's ridiculous. This is honestly making me concerned. My heart is breaking for whatever woman he's in a relationship with. I'm imagining this guy treating relationships like it's Fight Club. If my partner can't roll with my knuckle sandwiches without crying about it and she wants to leave for it, well, then good riddance to her toots. Jesus Christ, special snowflakes can't handle a few of my right hooks. Ridiculous. That's frightening. That is a frightening mentality, that you're telling someone to just endure physical or even mental abuse.
I agree. I agree with everything that he said so far. So now here's my question, right? Why is there no media outrage about this podcast where clearly it's telling people, you know, abuse isn't that bad? Don't you guys think that that's kind of harmful for public consumption? But there's no outcry. There's no negative publicity. There's no articles saying, why is this being done? There's none of that. Do you guys notice that? Nobody's really saying too much about this. I mean, which clearly must mean that, you know, people aren't really that outraged about it. Let me ask you guys, is this outraging?
A relationship and calling them like a special snowflake or a pussy if they don't, that's crazy. And also his cohort there, the goofball he's in cahoots with, who's like, man, divorce isn't real. Divorce is make-believe. It's hocus pocus. There's no such thing as divorce. Yes, if you're getting abused, you can't divorce, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a wild episode.
And the reality is people just haven't learned to endure. There have been hard times in relationship. I'm sure you guys had hard times in relationship.
That's facts. That's facts. Torian said it didn't even make it to the shade room, but when it was KS, he made the shade room with almost every word he said. And he never went to this extreme. But this is PC culture in a nutshell. Yeah, I mean, so and that goes back to the whole thing that we talked about with the creation of the artificial intelligence girlfriends and then abusing the AI. You know what I'm saying?
Any relationship has hard time, and it
Okay.
is what it is. You need to push through, and you
What
need
if
to
the
endure
kid
because
is
we're in
getting
this.
abused?
Hold on, because we're in this situation now, like where everybody's just creating these like super nuanced, like 1% example of like, well, what if the kid's transgender, black, and abused, and he's a Black Lives Matter supporter? Like, cool, okay, I get like that one.
So then now now look at this guy eyeball bucking right here. You know what I'm saying? But so now all of a sudden we're bringing in black. we're bringing black shit into the conversation. What does that have to do with anything? And again, pay very close attention to the weird ass relationship that these people seem to not be able to separate gender and race. What is that? Has anybody noticed that weirdness that PC people have, where it's like they can't make a clear-cut separation between race and gender? Like they literally think that like gender is a race. What's up with that?
No, but I'm
Minute
asking for anyone
situation
that might be in this.
Look at it. I'm gonna rewind that part.
has a hard time, and it
Okay.
is what it is. You need to push through. And you need
What if
to
the
endure
kid
because
is
we're in
being
this.
abused?
Hold on, because we're in this situation now, like where everybody's just creating these like super nuanced, like 1% example of like, well, what if the kid's transgender, black, and abused, and he's a Black Lives Matter supporter? Like, cool,
Yeah.
okay, I get like that one
No, but I'm
minute
asking for anyone
situation.
that might be in that situation. What would you recommend?
Okay,
Do you think
endure.
so?
I'll tell
Would
you
they
what.
give
I'll,
up
I'll tell you what
divorce?
I would
Endure.
do.
That's
I'll tell you what.
Endure.
Hold on, I'll tell you what I would do.
A lot of diarrhea fell out of his mouth on this one here. So there's a lot.
A lot of diarrhea fell out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying?
To break down. He had an actual episode of psychosis there. He just started spitting shit that never even came up. It's a very simple question. It really wasn't nuanced. She just said, in an abusive relationship, should the marriage end? It really doesn't get more simple than that. A fucking child could understand the question. There wasn't anything about like all these nuance that you bring up. But anyway, Smash Mouth has his meltdown there for a second, but his message is still the same. No matter what, you got to endure. You got to endure the abuse. He even has the chutzpah to equate abuse to just a hard time in a relationship.
So now let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that this guy grew up watching either his mom or his sister be abused, or do you think like there was abuse that went on in his family? Like, what do you guys think the situation was that would cause him to be so open to people receiving abuse and being okay with it? Like, what would do that? What would do that? You know what I'm saying?
As if it's just some little obstacle, little hiccup that every relationship goes through. Brother, abuse is not a hard time in a relationship. That is a fucking crime. That is when a relationship ends, should end.
I wouldn't want my daughter in that situation, quite frankly. And I understand the argument to endure because I have people close to me who grew up in abusive households and it lasted for periods of time and it was a phase and they endured through it and they ended up raising healthy, successful families.
Their faces really tell the whole story here. This reaction's pretty on par with that statement. Abuse is not a phase. It shouldn't be a phase. This isn't a normal thing. There's no reason to start normalizing abusive relationships as something every couple needs to go through or will go through. Abuse isn't acceptable. Full stop. Like that's where this was a really easy slam dunk for these dudes to answer. Should a marriage end when it gets abusive, whether for the woman or the man? And the answer is easy. It's yes. A relationship.
Right. I'm there. I'm with him. Should a relationship end when it becomes abusive? I thought that was common sense. Yes. Now, it may not be common sense for an individual who's locked in the abusive situation, because a lot of times people are in those situations and they're in so deep, they've completely lost control over themselves and the situation. So I'm not talking about them. But for somebody asking a question, doing a thought exercise like this, I mean, this should just simply be a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? This should simply be a no-brainer. But there's clearly people that don't feel that way. There's people out there that literally think that it's okay to endure abuse and that you shouldn't not be allowed to get divorced if you're a victim of it. Steven Crowder was one of them.
Isn't something where there should be an abusive phase. If there's an abusive partner, that partner needs to seek legitimate help and get help for controlling whatever violent urges or impulses they have. But that doesn't mean that the other partner needs to stay in the relationship while they're getting that help, especially not if there's children in the household, because not only is it dangerous for the partner, it's dangerous for the kid to be around as well. I think it's very simple. I don't think it's that nuanced. Abuse just isn't acceptable. Like that's a super easy thing for a normal person to answer, but we've cultivated this culture online where everything needs to be like a debate, even on the simplest topics. Like you just saw Smash Mouth have that meltdown, like, oh, you're getting into all this crazy 0.1% example nuance of abuse and then all of these other factors, like out of nowhere, when that wasn't even what was discussed. It is the easiest black and white question.
To an extent.
So
They
you
weren't the
would say
healthiest
that
families.
to stick in those relationships that might be abusive to everyone involved and a child if there's a
I'm
child
not
involved?
saying like, hey,
That's
stick
an
in the relationship and get the shit beat out of you
No,
by
no,
a
no,
husband.
I'm not saying
I'm not-
you
I'm
don't
not-
have to an
I
extreme.
think you guys-
I'm just asking you what you believe.
I'm
on
just
this one
telling you-
specific
I-
thing.
I-
Even
I'm
if
not
it's a
telling
small
you-
extreme thing, I'm just asking you what you think if you should stick in that relationship or not.
Hey,
It's-
look,
it's-
look,
it's
look,
such-
look, look.
It is such an
Y'all see that? $99 super chat. I told y'all, do y'all see the super chats don't stay off the screen on here? Like the super chats don't stay off the screen on there. They get more super chats than I get of actual comments. And comments is free. Like you could take away all of the comments in their comment section, and just with the super chat, their chat will pop more than mine's do. You know what I'm saying? Torian said, do you see what the super chat says? The super chat says, to Destiny and others who aren't Christian and don't believe in the Bible, I pray God softens your heart so that you can experience his presence and the overwhelming love he has for you. I pray this plants a seed in your mind and you ask God to reveal himself to you. He will. Send me that bullshit and I'll tell you that I went to church on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Robert Harold, come here. Come subscribe to my channel. And send me $99 to tell me everything that I need to change about myself that I'm not going to change, but I'll take your $99. You know what I'm saying?
extreme example that I can't give a prescription for what other people should do. There is an element.
God damn it, it's not even an extreme example. If you just Google it for like 15 seconds, there's so many different studies conducted on the topic, and according to a lot of the different numbers, all of which are a little different, but most of them agree that at least 20% of all marriages are abusive at some point in time. And that's just in reported cases. Like, it's not an extreme example. It's really not. But even if it was, it doesn't even change the question. Like, even in the extreme example here, it's still a very easy answer that, yes, that marriage should end. There is a problem. Now, this guy here is trying to play nice with everybody. So he's like, oh, yes, even this goober over here talking about endure. I mean, there's almost an element of something salvageable of his point. When there's not, like, there's no excuse. Like, you shouldn't be enduring abuse, like, under any circumstance. But he's really trying to give an olive branch over there for some fucking reason. But this guy is at least admitting, like, he wouldn't want his daughter in that. So he does outright say, like, yes, a woman shouldn't be getting the shit beat out of her in a marriage or relationship, and she should leave. He at least will concede that, whereas the other two guys still, for some reason, fight tooth and nail that, nah, there's really no reason to be leaving.
Like that.
Do you have opinions about third trimester abortion?
It's
Yes.
terrible.
Listen,
It's
Okay,
terrible.
look at how quickly they did it. You know how
Terrible.
rare third trimester abortions are? They're also really
They
rare,
are.
but you immediately had a visceral reaction to that,
Yeah.
right? There are households where parents are abusive to children. Like, that's not like an unfathomable thing. But for you to have that immediate visceral reaction to a type of abortion, it's so incredibly rare. But
Yeah,
then when
but
it's
I mean, we're
but you
talking
have-
about like a guy like getting drunk and like, you know, beating
have to be
his
getting
wife
drunk.
occasionally versus like,
You know, nothing wrong with getting drunk and coming back home and knocking your chick around a little bit. You know, normal shit like that. I think that we should tweet the Shade Room, Torian, and ask the Shade Room why they didn't say anything about this. They claim to be media. And YouTube promotes this in the algorithm. Facts. They promote this in the algorithm. Shout out to my man Jared. What's good with it, bro? They promote this in the algorithm, y'all. And I'm on my way to another video with 100 likes and less than 1,000 views. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on my way to.
I think that was a really good point from Destiny there. Like, you have a very quick reaction to another extreme example. Why do you not have that same energy when it comes to abusive households? And then the guy starts making some shit up like, we're talking about a guy getting drunk and maybe putting his hands on his wife. Where is that coming from? The question was so simple. They're making up like a whole fanfic plot line in their head about what was asked when it was really super simple. Abusive household. Should the marriage end? Like, I actually wonder.
Shout out to my man Torian Rain, but like, see, like, I ain't trying to be funny, but right here is an inside look, right? This is an inside look at how the elements that create familicide come together. This right here is evidence of how the elements that create a familicide come together. Can you imagine somebody actually enduring a situation like this for a long time, like how this guy is talking about? Can you imagine that? That'll boil over and bubble and bubble and bubble until what happens? Somebody's going to flip out. And you know what? Believe it or not, somebody just unsubscribed from the channel. So shout out to whoever unsubscribed.
If she had even just said something even more simple and broad, what the response would have been. If she had asked, do you guys think abuse is bad? I wonder what they would have said. I wager that they would have been like, okay, we need to define what abuse is because all of these special snowflakes have weird definitions for abuse. So let's start really getting into the nitty gritty of what is abuse. Even though it's so easy, abuse is just bad. And an abusive relationship is bad. I don't know what's so hard about it. I don't know what's so hard about them just admitting that.
But well, okay, so
Yeah.
let me ask you guys, in the Catholic Church, I know that there's like annulments for marriages and stuff. Are there
That was a
no
mistake.
are there no
Bro, there is a YouTube to familicide pipeline. That is facts, Carlton. That's facts. I'm about to show y'all this real quick if I can find it. Hold on real quick. Oh yeah, here it is right here. How many people know who this guy named Stephen Broderick is? You guys know who Stephen Broderick is? If you guys know, I did a video about Stephen Broderick. If you guys know who Stephen Broderick is, give me a thumbs up. If you don't know who Stephen Broderick is, give me a thumbs down. Now check this out right here. Austin massacre suspect hung out in deeply misogynistic corners online. This dude committed familicide. Look at this. And he was an ex-cop. Stephen Broderick, the Texas ex-cop accused of deleting his wife and daughter before triggering a manhunt, showed an interest in anti-feminist personalities and online spaces. Shout out to John Guillory. What's good with it, bro? The Texas man arrested in the fatal shooting of 3 people in Austin on Sunday appears to have spent time in misogynistic forums on Reddit and showed an affinity for an anti-feminist podcaster and life coach, the Daily Beast has found. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The YouTube to familicide pipeline is in full effect. The YouTube to familicide pipeline is in full effect and it's running fresh. The liquid is going through it. Nothing is stopping or getting clogged. That pipeline is running fresh. It's flush. You know what I'm saying? The water is coming out high pressure on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. The Daily Beast linked former Travis County Sheriff Stephen Broderick to 2 online monikers, Slammed Cavy and Slam Cavy 254, the latter of which includes his apparent area code. While the user of the first account mostly participated in car-related message boards more than a decade ago, the latter handle in recent years participated in threads on the R Seduction subreddit, started an ecstasy account that favored just one shop, that of Coach Greg Adams, who sold, among other things, t-shirts emblazoned with the slogan, "The future is still male." Local news media identified the 3 victims of the shooting as Broderick's ex-wife, daughter, and the latter's boyfriend. The YouTube to familicide pipeline. Know what I'm saying? Now, if you sitting there listening to somebody sit there and say that you can beat the brakes off of somebody and it's just okay, or, you know what I'm saying, like, it's just okay, you know, after you had a couple drinks, you can go ahead and knock this woman around. I mean, you can see how a situation like that would develop. You know what I'm saying?
Exceptions for, like, if a guy's beating his wife constantly?
No, there are, but now
Or a woman could as well, right?
Hold on.
Well, there's
Yes,
also a
she could, but-
distinction drawn between.
If a woman's beating a dude,
legal
that
Hold
guy-
on, guys.
Oh man, blubbery ass Jonathan there just got saved big time by the guy.
He said blubbery ass Jonathan. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Carlton said, I had a talk with a guy who follows Fresh and Fit advice. I told him to chill out because he's becoming low-key crazy. I bet you he talks just like Mario. He's like, why are you telling me that I'm getting low-key crazy? I'm following these guys' advice to become a high-value man, Carlton. You're just mad because we are better than you niggas. Your boy be going through the drive-thru like, I want a number 1 with fries, large Pepsi, and a Frosty. Now. Then when he get to the drive-thru, when he get to the drive-thru window, when he get to the drive-thru window, they be like, sir, I didn't hear your order. What part did you miss? Hair falling all out the back of his head.
In the middle. He wanted so badly to say that if a man's getting beat by his girl, then he's a pussy or he's like a weak bitch or something. He wanted so badly to try and get that kind of bravado out there. Sad to see that this mentality still exists somehow, that men can't be the victims of abuse. I thought we got rid of that stigma years ago. Jonathan's supposed to be a men's self-help guru. How? Actually, how?
It's divorces that are initiated by women, Brian?
78.
80%.
78.
80%.
80%. And what percentage of those women have college degrees?
Well, it jumps to 90% if they're college educated.
Real.
Brian, please present the stats to the class. What percentage of divorces are initiated by women? 80%? Thank you, Poindexter. That's sickening. 90% if they're college educated? I rest my case. That's why I only marry 18-year-olds now. They're too young to have a college degree, thus they can't divorce me. What?
And you know what's interesting? That have you ever heard any rhetoric or anything like that advocating for things that sound like that? If you guys have heard rhetoric that is encouraging people in that direction, let me know.
What does this have to do with anything? Okay, so you don't want to marry college-educated women? You want to marry dumb women? Like, I don't know. What, you want to just marry a lobotomite sex doll? Cool. Like, who cares? It doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with the core.
I think that these people actually do. He said, you want to marry a lobotomite sex doll. I think that people actually do want that. And that's one of the reasons why we keep getting more and more and more and more of these AI stories. That's why we keep getting the AI stories. You know what I'm saying? people, people want things the easy way. They don't want to have any duration of struggle or deal with anything or cultivate anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just want stuff the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? Which is bad, but what you gonna do about it? That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
Question anymore. It's gone fully off the rails and unhinged. They're so focused on picking apart divorce itself. So now they're spouting these stats and making each other mad. So one of the dudes is like, real. Then the other guy is taking a huge deep breath. Why, I oughta. Just hearing that number's making me mad enough to put hands on my spouse because she might have considered a divorce at some point. Like, it's ridiculous. This has nothing to do with what was asked.
They
Can
are
I ask-
extreme.
I
I
wanna ask
agree. I agree
another-
with that.
I want to ask
but-
like one more scenario, okay?
Please.
What about if
I was giggling so fucking hard because you can hear, I'm pretty sure it's Jonathan go, oh, Jesus. When she says she wants to ask another scenario, why are you even here? The whole
Look, he did too. Like, he was mad. Did y'all hear that? Listen.
do with what was asked.
They
Can
are
I ask-
extreme.
I
I
wanna ask
agree. I agree
another-
with that.
I want to ask
but-
like one more scenario, okay?
Please.
Oh,
What about
Jesus.
if
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear? If y'all heard that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't, give me a thumbs down.
I was giggling so fucking hard because you can hear, I'm pretty sure it's Jonathan go, oh, Jesus. When she says she wants to ask another scenario, why are you even here? The whole point is to communicate with the women, your guests, right? To ask them stupid questions and shit. Like, if you're so bothered with them talking, what the fuck are you even doing there?
two people get married, have a kid, and then the wife starts cheating? Do you think they should divorce?
Absolutely.
Crucifixion.
They should
Yeah.
divorce then?
Jesus himself
You don't
said.
think
But it wasn't
Jesus,
illegal.
hold on. Jesus
And you
himself
could like
said.
work things through, right?
Jesus himself said in cases of adultery, divorce is
So you think that
permissible.
divorce is worse than physical abuse?
For the
Or
children?
cheating, sorry. You think that cheating is worse than physical
Look at this. Look at this super chat at the bottom. Ryan for $9.99 says, endure but hold accountable. If there's abuse in the relationship, the abusive partner should get help. What if the partner that they're abusing is dead or gets put in the ICU? What then? I'm telling you, do you like, if you listen, do you all hear how normal this is coming off? Like, these people are just saying this stuff like, yeah, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Now you see why the familicides are how they are. I haven't had a chance to do a crime cast yet. I got the first crime cast that I do when I finally get a chance to do one is probably going to be like a 7-hour stream. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, now you literally see with this mentality why it's so hard to survive the suburbs.
abuse.
For the
Sorry.
children, yes.
I actually let out a full belly laugh. So she brings up cheating and unanimously like, yes, obviously you have to divorce when the woman's being a whore. Well, if you've got a slut for a wife, you got to fucking divorce that harlot, that harpy. Duh. Are you stupid, lady? Absolutely, you have to divorce there. After they spent like 6 minutes about, well, actually, divorce is one of the most evil things that can ever happen. Divorce is unacceptable. Physical abuse, okay, abuse, you have to endure because you can't divorce. But then when it's cheating, it's like, yeah, you got to divorce. Jonathan even says crucifixion is warranted. I'm sure he's just being exaggeratory, but he does point blank say that cheating is worse than abuse for the kids, which is a wild take. Both are awful. Your father beating your mother or your mother beating your father in front of your kid is just as damaging as one of them being unfaithful. These are both horrible things, both of which should end in divorce. But for some reason, they seem to only have a real visceral response when it comes to cheating. And then the guy in the middle even gets immediately religious. Like, well, in the Bible it says, you know, when cheating's on the table, that's when divorce is absolutely necessary. Well, what the fuck? The Bible also doesn't preach for beating the fuck out of your spouse either. I'm sure you can also divorce.
And also the Bible isn't a legitimate source of authority for some people. Like, if somebody told me that a Bible said something, I'd be like, I don't, what does that have to, why are you telling me that a fairy tale book said something? You know what I'm saying? Like, whether people are religious or not, people should never, ever, 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 ever in their entire life, ever use any kind of religion to ever justify anything. Religion is not a universal place of authority. It's not. You know what I'm saying?
In a case like that. So why didn't we get biblical when abuse was brought up? Why did we start trying to justify different levels of abuse and it might be a phase where it's going to get better after and this and that? Dude even wove a whole fanfic about like, oh, we're talking about a man who gets drunk and maybe occasionally hits his wife. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you making excuses for abuse and not for cheating all of a sudden, right? Like, and Melina even calls it out. She's like, oh, well, what about like working through it, or, you know, maybe the cheating's a phase. I'm like, no, absolutely not. cheating is the end all be all. This is crazy. Like I was absolutely howling with laughter when we got to this segment in the podcast.
Absolutely
I
not.
think I'm not going to
no,
say this.
divorce-
is worse than-
divorce
I
is
mean,
worse
I
than
already-
cheating.
I already
Is
said.
cheating
I already
worse than
said that if a
Cheating,
woman's
yeah.
getting abused, yeah, I think she should leave. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a brief temporary thing, like
What if it's mental abuse?
Okay, now
If
we're
it's
getting-
less- if it's-
If you are
Mental
setting your
abuse.
child up,
I think there's a small chance that Jonathan may have misunderstood the question. He may have thought he heard, is divorce worse than abuse? And that's what he was saying, that divorce is worse than abuse for the kids, which is still a fucking stupid take. So I'm going to tackle that one as well. What the fuck, man? You think that somehow kids witnessing their parents beating the shit out of each other is somehow less damaging than if they had just gotten divorced? You've got some issues you need to.
So now I'm telling you, I really want to know. You guys haven't really been too active this stream. Do you all feel that the normalcy that these people are showing with these things being discussed, is this one of the reasons why the familicide rates are so high? Could you imagine people growing up dealing with that? Could you imagine that? Let me ask you guys a question. What kind of effect do you think that would have on a child? That's my question for you. What kind of effects do you guys think that would have on a child? It's all good, AB. Don't trip. You all right? That would probably make a child very disturbed, don't you think? And then just imagine how, if the child continues to repeatedly see that, how that disturbance is going to mature into a warped personality state. Look at all the people that do this kind of stuff. Ethan Cromley, Aiden Fauci, all of this insanity. Trauma.
Work through. My goodness. And then also that lady that's behind them is saying that it's less cut and dry when it comes to mental abuse. Why? Abuse is abuse. What are you talking about? So far up until this point in the episode, she hasn't said too much. She mainly just kind of agrees with everything the guys say, but she says it's less cut and dry when it comes to mental abuse, which leads me to believe that she thinks it should be cut and dry when it comes to divorce for physical abuse. But she didn't say anything. She didn't chime up and say like, hey, I agree, the marriage should end then. She just stayed silent because I guess she was just looking for things to fight them on as opposed to agree with, which I think is always such a weird component of these debates where if you agree with your opponent, you're apparently losing or you lose points by doing so, which is so fucking backwards. And that's why I think debates in general are kind of worthless, because it's never about changing someone's mind. It's always about just cementing your own beliefs and never faltering and never changing perspective on anything. So nothing good ever really comes from it except for just general entertainment as a spectator. And this one had me giggling.
So what did you guys think about that? That was some of the most ridiculous stuff that I've ever seen in my entire life. And the thing that's crazy is that I can't believe that that's just something that YouTube. Well, actually, I can believe it. I can believe that YouTube promotes that. I can definitely believe that YouTube promotes that. So we've been live for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? We still need one more subscriber over on Rumble to hit that 80. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Rumble up to 100. We got to build that channel, so help your boy out with that. Smash that like button over there. Share the video out over there. Make sure you subscribed over there. Make sure you guys hit the like button over here on YouTube. Share the video to your social media, because you know YouTube's not going to distribute the content anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And today at, I believe, either 3 o'clock or 3:30, we're going to be doing Just Talking with TD and Rob. So if you guys are not subscribed to Just Talking with TD and Rob, how many of y'all are subscribed to Just Talking with TD and Rob? If you're subscribed to Just Talking with TD and Rob, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, give me a thumbs down. Now that you guys are familiar and on Rumble, make sure you guys also are subscribed to the Rumble channel. All right. So I'm going to put the link to the Rumble channel in there. Make sure you guys subscribe over there to that channel too. All right. So we'll be live later on today. All right. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some more live streams, maybe some videos if I get a chance to edit some videos. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all are out here killing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are the best subscribers on YouTube. And I will catch you all on the next video. All right. Peace.